Despite the high attrition rate of entrants in the North Island, 34 of the original 42 jet boats lined up for the second stage of the AB Equipment World Marathon. A day off between stages enabled many teams to rebuild engines and boats in readiness for the next 3 days of racing. Gone are the wide open rivers of the North Island. In their place, the tighter braided shallows of the Waiau, Rakaia and Waimakariri. With a comfortable lead over his nearest competitor, Michael Hill cruises away from the start on the Waiau, determined not to lose control of what is fast becoming his race. Despite the lead, he still posts second fastest time upstream. But it is Rob Pooley in AGR Mobile who shows what a bit of local knowledge can do, finishing his run to Hamner in a blistering 41 minutes. He only just makes it though, forced to park the other side of the finish flag after an engine failure crossing the line.
We had a lot of trouble getting past a couple of boats, but all in all, pretty happy till we got about 100 metres from the line, and then there's a herring great bang, and she just went down cylinder by cylinder. It was Canada revisited actually, except over there it happened 6 minutes into the first race.
Frantic efforts to rebuild the big Chev in time for the downstream run fail, and Pooley's campaign comes to an end.
Pretty much had it all ready to go, and then fell foul of a lack of spares. We needed a timing belt. We tore the teeth off the timing belt, and just didn't have it, couldn't start, so that was it. We had to pull the pin. And there's very few sports where they take an engine and just run it pretty much at full throttle for literally hours on end, and in some instances that's what we end up doing. This year particularly we had up and down the Wanganui was a full noise run, and the lower end of the Rangatiki and the lower end of the Manawatu were all very hard runs. And you know, credit where credit's due, you've got to look at the people who have thrown the resources at their machinery to ensure that they've bought that sort of security, that sort of reliability. And secondly, of course, the guys who have gone out there and managed their own run. They have just backed off a wee bit and brought their motors through it, and they're still here now, and it's definitely a tortoise in the ear situation when you look at who's still out there. I wish them all the best.
His intention was clear from the start. Justin Boice is really here to gain experience, but somehow the American finds himself in second overall, going to show that having the fastest boat is not the only ticket to the top. His consistency and the attrition of some of the larger horsepower around has Justin in with a chance. But it is short-lived. Even his more conservative engine isn't excused from failure.
Well, we're pretty sure it's popping in. I'm pulling valve covers just in hopes, but it looks like a piston or maybe even a crank. It's got a good rattle to it. But, we got spare pistons. We don't have a spare crank. Racing, like I said, it's 90% work. You can have everything just tip-top, but you still got to have that 10% luck, I think.
As it turns out, it's only a broken rocker, but he's unable to repair it in time for the start of the downstream leg to Waiau Township, effectively ending any chance of a podium finish. Expatriate Kiwi John Vanderhole, on the other hand, isn't out to break speed records in ICI Autocolour. Residing in America gives him access to some top-notch engine technology.
It's basically, this engine was developed on a computer in the States, principally based on a NASCAR engine, and we ran it through Jim Oddie's computer. Jim Oddie is principally involved in the IHRA over there, also has a background in offshore marine racing. So that's principally where that recipe came from. Whether it's any better than anyone else's, I don't know. Ultimately, we're not as fast and we don't have the knowledge of these rivers that a lot of the teams do. We get to race once a year, but our plan was to always be circulating, always be handy, and let the others drop out. And as long as we're there, we'll end up doing pretty well.
Not doing quite so well, Jeff Laird and Tim Harding, this time another problem.
Problem is we don't know the problem. We're trying to figure it out. We really don't know. That we're gonna make it back down and we'll work on it tonight.
Every time you people film us, we're monkey wrench.
You've got water in the oil?
Yeah. Lots of it. We got it for sale, we might want some.